Mammoth Hunters, Part 1.
It is a world ruled by mad science. This is actually preferable to the world in the next parallel dimension to the left, which is ruled by giant ants. There, an enslaved humanity toils endlessly, preparing a never-ending supply of picnic lunches they can never eat, unwrapping titanic lollipops which must be artfully deposited upon sidewalks, digging endlessly within hideously decorative human farms. In fact, the only thing that keeps these wretched humans alive is the dream that one day there will be a rumble upon the horizon, a swirl of dust will appear, and a shining herd of giant golden anteaters will thunder down upon their oppressors. And when they do, you can be sure that riding the lead anteater, magnifying glass raised high, will be Agatha Heterodyne, Girl Genius! In our last episode, Agatha Heterodyne,
Science!
And her companions, Crosp the First, Emperor of all cats,
Meow.
Zitha, the lost warrior princess of the equally lost city of Scafander,
Hey.
and Othar Tryggvason, while successfully dealing with an infestation of giant mutant pigeons on the bucolic island of Mauritius, found a mysterious journal in an indecipherable language. Curious, they have brought this book to one of Agatha's old teachers, Professor Nudibranch, in the Department of Accidental Language at Transylvania Polygnostic University.
Fascinating, my dear. This book is simply astounding.
So you can read this?
No, not even a little.
That's good, is it?
Why, my dear, Cat, before I saw this tome, I'd have said it was impossible. The science of accidental language enables us to discern the underlying sense behind any language, even when we do not understand its rules or structure. While the interpretation of the printed word can be tricky, the spoken word is usually quite simple to decipher.
Quite correct. I have often used the science of accidental language in my adventures.
Really?
Oh yes. Now one rarely has time to study a language extensively on your average adventure, but I can say I'm tired of life in a number of different languages.
That's a rather unusual concept to encounter while traveling.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But there I am, peacefully prying out the eye of some idol or something, and a bunch of fellows run in and inform me that they are in fact tired of living. Now, they use words like, infidel, you must die, or you will never leave this temple alive. But obviously...
Can't be serious.
Yes, or when they say, oh, this'll be an easy fight, she is but a woman.
Or, surrender and your death will be relatively painless.
Or, I am the undefeated champion of my tribe, or whatever.
This is fascinating. Usually all I get to collect are variations on, please take our land and our women, but that's politics for you.
Disturbingly, this is beginning to make sense.
Yes, that'll happen a lot around here. So Professor, my book?
I must consult some notes I have in the library. If I could ask you to return tomorrow, say around 9 a.m.?
Sure, I wouldn't mind seeing the old hometown for a while.
Oh, before you dash off, if I could beg a favor of you, could you deliver this box to Professor Wright? It's the Department of Transdimensional Harmonics. Big tower on the North Quad, can't miss it.
What's this?
Squeak, 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 squeak.
It's a box of live mammoths!
What, those teeny tiny little mammoths?
Yes, the blasted things get into everything, you know.
Tasty, tasty mammoths.
Anyway, Professor Wright has provided all the departments with mammoth traps, and every few days we send him a fresh batch of them. He says they're better than lab rats.
They come with their own toothpicks, you know.
But he's transdimensional harmonics. What does he do with them?
Frankly, I'd rather not know.
Same here.
Soon, Agatha and her companions find themselves outside the sinister gray monolith that houses the Department of Transdimensional Harmonics.
But now they were all squamous and non-Euclidean, and the authorities had to shoot them. Professor Wright said it was a mercy, really, as most of them probably would have failed their finals anyway.
You guys really need a stronger student council.
This Professor Wright sounds like a overly strict disciplinarian, a crazed martinet who enjoys toying with the lives of his students, a ruthless teacher who rewards laxness with death.
It wasn't an easy A, I'll tell you.
Agatha, you actually had this guy as a teacher?
Oh, I needed another credit, and it was either transdimensional harmonics or water polo, and I didn't think I could ride well enough to keep the horses from drowning, so I signed up.
And passed, Miss Clay. What an unexpected pleasure.
Oh, you remember me. How nice.
Hardly surprising, as you were the only student who ever survived long enough to graduate from my class.
It might surprise you to know that she might have been known as Agatha Clay then, while she was here at school, but her real name is Agatha Heterodyne.
What? The heterodyne girl? The lost heir? That was you?
Indeed it is. You've heard of me.
Everyone has heard of you. Why, when they find out that you attended my class, every sycophantic blockhead with delusions of science will try to sign up. This is terrible.
Have to update the old lesson plan, eh?
It will doom my research. In transdimensional harmonics, the loss of minutes can be a tragedy. Entire realms of human thought are being derailed while I have this conversation. I've finally scared off any incoming students. The mere notion of a massive influx of fresh, new inquiring minds eagerly seeking me out for the sole purpose of draining me of my precious knowledge and time. I won't stand for it, and why should I?
Is he always like this?
Are you kidding? That rant was one of the questions on the final. Well, we're not here to antagonize you any more than necessary, Professor. We're just here to deliver the mimeths.
Squeak, squeak. Yes, well, hand them over and then go away.
Hey, how about I take one for the road?
Hey,
Look out! Stop!
The box!
Oops.
All the mimeths got away.
Hurried into that big machine.
Fools, you fools! That is my chromatic stellaflocculator. It is irreplaceable if those creatures damage anything.
I'm so sorry, Professor. If there's anything we could do.
Why, yes, there it is. Yes, this will solve everything.
Everything? That's impressive.
Oh, yes. Just stand here.
Zap.
Whoa, that felt weird.
That light. What happened?
And where did that 300-meter tall statue of Professor Wright come from?
Oh.
All right, you fools. Your task is a simple one. In your diminutive form, enter the machine and return with all of the mimeths, and I will return you to your proper size. Fail me and you will remain minuscule forever!
Will Agatha and her friends be able to find all of the mimeths? And even if they do, will Professor Wright really return them to their correct size? And what does Professor Wright do with the mimeths anyway? For the answers to these and other questions, tune in to the next exciting episode of Agatha Heterodyne Girl Genius!